Hey people, I found this really cool poem in the Hebrew Bible about the yew tree. It's short, it's just 2 lines, but they say these yew trees can live 2,000 years or better. It's the oldest tree in Europe, and they find them planted around all the ancient churchyards. They said they could get up to 15 foot in diameter. They build houses up in them. So it says the yew tree is highly poisonous and lethal, and archers used to coat the tips of their arrows in crushed seeds to make sure they cause death. On hot days, the yew can give off hallucinogenic vapors, and standing in the fine golden pollen is said to shift consciousness. And so these poisons in it, that's what makes it last so long. The bugs aren't going to eat it, but it's very toxic to all the animals. And so the ancient Celtic word for the yew tree is the Hebrews. Sounds like Hebrews to me. And they find these in the churchyards like this. So they've been there in the church a long time. Over 5 meters in diameter. That's like 16 foot for you Americans. Over 2,000 years old. And interpretations of the Norse cosmology, the tree of the Yggdrasil is interpreted as a giant ash tree. But the scholars are now saying that it was a yew, European yew. And so that would be the one that Odin hung himself under. And in medicine, it's used to cure breast cancer. It's one of the first medicines found for breast cancer, I think in '67. And in woodworking, it's this closed pour, soft wood. Easy to work, but it's flexible. And they found a spearhead made out of the yew. They say to be estimated over 400,000 years old. So it's kind of like cedar, or not a cedar, but a cypress. You know, we use them for boats because the bugs won't eat them. So this Yggdrasil tree is known as ash, and this is the correct spelling of ash. And it's the oldest god. Even when they're reading the Sumerian tablets, you know, Enki, his first name, they say was Aya, but they're not pronounced that right. It's not Aya, it's Ash. This is the old writings of Ash. And it would be here, Ash. And so even older, the older runes look like this. It's Ash. And so it's said to be the tree that Odin hung himself under. You know, Odin, that was the god, that was the same as Mercury, Wednesday. And from the old poem, Sayings of the High One, and he sacrificed himself upon the Yggdrasil. So the scholars used to say it was an ash tree, but they had no backup. But Schroeder proposed a fourth etymology according to which the Yggdrasil means yew pillar, deriving from Yaga, meaning yew tree, and Drazel, meaning pillar. And it became known as Odin's horse. Horse meaning the tree. So this poem's here in 2 Kings, the last 2 lines of 20. It's called Manasseh Succeeds Hezekiah. And I'm going to read this in the Old English, and that's what we're looking at here in this line. This is Old English. Just because their words are different from mine, they don't know. Here they say this is of Acts, the DBRI. And we can just look one line down, and it's the same word, and they say it means of. They really can't read this, whoever did this translation. And we can see it again up above here. In this word, they give degrees here in mullet, M-O-L-U-T. Mullet is a star. And here it's bruised in mullet, B-M-O-L-U-T, bruise, and they give it a number of 4,600, but here's the same word, N-B-M-O-L-U-T, and here it's on the sundial, and they give it a different number here. And so all this translation, they're trying to fit the King James mistranslation. And I'll show you some more proofs here. This word for Hezekiah, this is a King James word. And you see the last three letters, H-Z-Q-Y-E-W. That's a U. Y-E-W. And if we look in here in the Greek, E-Z-E-K-Y-O-U. U, I-O-U, Y-O-U-U. And we look in the Latin, and you see the last letters is the I, ash. It's talking about the ash or the yew of the tree that Odin hung himself under. And these are your three oldest Bibles, the Latin, the Greek, and the Hebrew. So I pulled these last two lines of this poem off, and I put them on paint so I could line them up. So it's got alchemy hidden underneath, but on the top it reads like shithouse poetry. Something you read off the bathroom wall. It says, who trade in riches few, to clutter of gover to. You know, the maid, the clutter of gover to, the trade in riches few. The wash rose too, the crabby brook, the backwards forwards, the crabby brook, what tell at the toll the wife to. Your wife done told the maid, you know, to go down to the crabby brook and do the wash. And then backwards and forwards, Mimum is the whore, the lame is. Mimum is the whore, the lame is. You know, mimum, where they're not saying anything when you turn your back. They're miming you. Mimum is the whore, the lame is. The cut of is all her piss, poured in rye they miss. You know, when you're not looking, they're pouring all their piss in your rye whiskey. And then it's signed, of Milky Judy. Of Milky, you know, Milky. You hire girls to feed your children. When you're rich, you know, you don't have to have children chewing on your nipples. And so it's got a bunch of other alchemy hidden there, but the way that the few is spelled, you know, in rich is few, it's telling off. But it'll tell off more in this last line. And like I say, this was the signature on this poem. And it's still just alchemy hidden in here. But this bottom is who shacking has few, as wittin of two. Who milk men seven, what chat to. And so this is the word for succubus, you know, when he laid with her, shacking, S-H-K-B, shacking. Who shacking has few. And like I say, this few usually spells Q-U, sometimes Q-U-E, but it has few as the wittin to. So who's shacking has few is not very many, and it's the yew tree. The center has, who's shacking has the Q, means center of the yew, as the wittins. If you live in a yew tree, you know, you ain't got much wit, because ain't too many animals can survive through it. And who milk men seven, what chat to. So this word for brook here, this is, you know, backwards and forwards, the crabby brook. And this is where your word brackish come from, the crabby brook. And brackish is mixed, a pool over there by the ocean where the fresh water's, trapped in low tide, at the Krabby Brook. And this is where your name Barack Obama comes from, Barack. And it means mixed water. Barack. The sun is the soul, is the salt water. And the mother is the fresh water. And so the brackish, and Obama, OB is of, to see in. Amma is Hebrew for mother. And so that was his dad's name, was Barack Obama. So that meant, he had brackish. So his dad wasn't fully black either. He was brackish. But this, who milkmen 7 what chat to. Talking about the men, the 7 wise men. And this is the milk that the 7 wise men chat to. Her name's Calliope, and she's the god of sweet poetry. And this is the men, and this is the milk, and the 7 men, the 7 sages of Greece, the Greek 7 philosophers, and they're known as the 7 wise men. And so this of milky Judy, this is of milk make you wood, WEWDE, of milk make you wood. And this debris, they give it of here, and they give it axe above. 1967, the same word, but most of the time it comes up, most every time they say it means words. In Psalms, most every word in Psalms, they'll change the meaning, so it only comes up that one time they'll give it a different number every time. And in this word, his might, to call water, WTR, of gover to. To call water of gover to would be a fisherman. And this what tell, the T is pronounced with the EL over here at the end. It's backwards and forwards. What tell at the toll, the tunnel. You usually have a toll when you're going through a tunnel. Somebody got to pay for building that tunnel. And in the word for the whore, this is the I make first. Usually sometimes just OIR, sometimes it's IOR. They'll give city. They give several words to name city. But this is the I make first. And so when you see just that, it means, the whore of the city, what the city's known for. What you see first, the Statue of Liberty is the whore of New York. The arch is the whore of St. Louis. That's where that word comes from. And the word for written, the cut of is. Usually it's the cut of in. But, it's mean written in stone. And so it's not just written, but something that's made to be permanent, the cut of. I was chasing the word down when I got here. And I seen this talking about the degrees, and I'm going to have to go back and read this. And I believe I'll be able to make a bunch of words out, a bunch of new words in here I haven't seen. You can see here the what whore, these at, wing what tie, all, and then it has a tax, and that's the Rio whore, the river whore. Has at of money, LMONY, has it of money. The wings what tie all a river whore has what of money. I've seen a lot of words that the word beside them would have their definition. And this word here, excel, EXL, means to excel. And they put it over here, go forward, because they'll try to say this means walk. But it's talking about the shadow moving backwards in here, but this is excel, means go forward. It's talking about changing the clock, excel. And the nickel. The nickel, it is an easy thing. It's a nickel. Easy, a light thing. Small, just a nickel. Alright, good day.